You know what really bothers me? How people who were born into privilege with financial stability, supportive families, and safety nets have the motherfucking audacity to look down on those who weren't. I saw a video recently on TikTok where a girl was doing a house tour, bragging about her mansion and talking about how, oh, most of you guys probably will never be invited inside. And basically, I made a comment stating and pointing out how tone deaf the video was, especially when we have so many people in our current society that are struggling just to afford food and rent. Someone actually replied to my comment saying, "Oh, not gonna lie, that's a skill issue." First of all, let's get something straight. That's not a skill issue, it's a system issue. You can work hard, you can have talent, hustle every single day of your life. But when the economy is broken and when the rent is sky high, when jobs don't even pay enough for you to make a living, when education costs more than a car, it's not about laziness. It's about survival. And people love to sit up here and act like everyone has the same 24 hours, but not everyone starts from the same place. There are some people who inherit homes, trust funds, and connections, and then there's some who inherit debt, trauma, and instability. So no, it's not about people that don't want success. Oh, you're not trying hard enough. Oh, you're lazy. It's that this system was built to make it damn near impossible for most to reach success. And for those who be sitting up there bragging online, talking about some, oh, you know what I mean? For those who basically are very frivolous, very much, let's just say shallow, because that's the only nice way I could put it. For people who are shallow and accumulate their worth and their being to material things, let me just say, let me just tell you this. Nothing in this world is guaranteed. This economy can flip at any moment. It is ever changing, as you can clearly see. And when it does flip and it changes, humility will be way, way more. It'll be worth way more than that motherfucking designer bag you're holding on to. Like, I'm just really shook. Like, literally, I didn't say anything negative or like, I wasn't wilding out, like, because y'all know sometimes I can crash out a bit. I just simply said, hey, girl, like, this is kind of insensitive. Like, we're at a really pivotal point in our society where a lot of people are suffering and you're doing a fucking mansion tour. Like, we don't really want to see your mansion, sis. Like, that's kind of fucked up. And I just got replies talking about, oh my gosh, God forbid a girl love luxury. Oh my gosh, that's a skill issue. Bitch, so I looked on it. I looked on her, literally. I clicked her fucking TikTok profile. Okay, 17K followers. Literally her whole brand is just being a spoiled daughter, which is like, shout out to you, I guess. Like, I like seeing women live in luxury, but that's not very deep content. That's not something everybody can connect to. You're probably just gonna have a bunch of people who follow you and want to live vicariously through you, but that's not gonna make no long-term success, honey boo. So yeah, I hope she experiences a major downfall. Fuck that bitch. But moral of the story, let's continue on. And you know the part that breaks my heart the most? Watching people who were born on solid ground sit there and mock the rest of us who are climbing out of the dirt, who are actively climbing out of the dirt, who's trying to make it out the mud. People who've never known hunger telling the hungry people to work harder. People who've never faced eviction calling struggle a choice. Like, when I saw that video of that girl showing off her mansion and bragging about how we'd never be allowed inside, and then I spoke up and I said, maybe this is a little cruel given the world that we're currently living in. Someone replied with, like, that bitch replied with, oh, it's a skill issue. Like, skill issue, my motherfucking ass. You can have all the skills in the world and still fail. What does that tell you? Like, what the fuck does that tell you? When rent costs more than your motherfucking peace of mind, when a college degree is a life sentence in debt, where people are working themselves numb, and still falling short of survival, it's not about no motherfucking laziness. It's not about privacy. It's not about mercy. It's not about none of that. It's about the lack of opportunity and the lack of empathy there is in this current world. Going back to my point, when people say we all have the same 24 hours, they fail to mention that some of them start with ladders. Some people start with ladders and some people start in holes. And for those people who have inherited all those amazing privileges, and for those who have inherited stability, don't confuse that with superiority, because at the end of the day, privilege is not a proof of effort. You didn't work hard for none of that shit. You were just, thankfully, you were the lucky one, you got picked and you were just born into privilege. You did not thug it out. You were not, doing all that. Your parent was probably the one thugging it out if they themselves weren't giving that privilege, but you didn't have to work for shit. So you have no right and no room to speak on what people are actually going through in this real life we call hell. This real fucking world, this earth, this living hell. Wealth at the end of the day is not wisdom. So all these people that were already born with, a silver spoon in their mouths, please shut your big ass mouth up. And to those who weren't even born into privilege, but you have accumulated privilege and you're at this point out of touch with reality, also you need to shut your big ass mouth up. One day when these cracks start turning into big holes, because the system is cracking right now, the government is shut down, society is collapsing, and when these cracks turn into holes and they start making gaps and shit really starts going left, I hope they remember what humility is, because at the end of the day, nothing in this life is promised. Not luxury, not ease, and damn sure not security. And at the end of the day, when the gold fades and the mass begins to fall, the only thing you have left is your heart. And that's one thing that money can't buy.